Yes, all the credit to New Mexico State for keeping their composure at the end and going down and getting the game-winning drive and winning the football game. I felt that, we didn't do anything to help ourselves. We turned the ball over too many times. We had a 17-point lead, and then we went into to fumble mode or interception mode and just basically self-destructed, allowed them to get momentum and get back into the game. Our guys got to learn how to finish when you get up on an opponent and be able to finish the deal. And you can't allow a team to get back in it like that. They kept fighting and they got back in, and we continued to turn the ball over. And then we decided when they did hold them, we did hold them all. I thought our first half our defense was outstanding, but we didn't do enough to separate and allowed them in. So you get at the end. You come down and you think you got a game-winning drive, and you find a way to punch it in, and then all of a sudden we have about 4 mental mistakes on the last drive where a guy came out of coverage and allowed things to happen and didn't do it there. What we were asking him to do. So all the credit to New Mexico State for taking advantage of that, and I'll open up for any questions.
Was one of the mental mistakes on that scoring play, was there a blown coverage in the middle?
Well, yes.
What were they doing? What was New Mexico State doing to kind of minimize Lopez Blair and Joe Louis' impact?
Well, they were just carrying them. They were getting a guy out to Joel and carrying him vertical, and Lindquist being the slot receiver. They spent a lot of time with an 8-man or 2 guys in the alley and being able to have a safety over the top of it.
Coach, moving forward to next week, how would you guys be able to capitalize on today's performances? Like you said, the first quarter, 2 fumbles, over 147 yards total offense in the first quarter. How you guys take that momentum and move forward next week against Air Force?
Well, we better learn how to hold on to the football and make good decisions with the football. Because Air Force, I can guarantee you Air Force will play with discipline, and they will embarrass you if you turn the football over. It's one of those deals you better keep possession of the ball, because with what they run, they eat up the clock, and they're a very disciplined football team, and they're not going to come in here and turn it over and have a bunch of penalties. They're going to, control the clock and move the ball. So when you do have it, you better score. And so we've got to learn how to, again, take care of the ball. Hold on to the football.
When you were up 17-0, y'all had that 4th down stop, get the ball back. Could you, sense any difference in the kids? Do they look nervous or anything on the sideline?
No, not at all. No, it had nothing to do with that.
Coach, could we expect Christian Hammond to get the ball to have more touches going forward next week?
He carried it 25 times. I don't know if a guy that's 175 pounds can carry it more than 25 in a game.
Seems that there was certainly some kind of similarities between this game and the last game that you played against Alabama and Christian, because you go and you get a big lead and then they come back. It just so happened that this time that there was more time for them to come back. So talk about maybe the fact that it seems as though that they're getting these leads, that your team's getting these leads and then just letting them go late.
It goes to turnovers. We get the lead, and then we give them points off the turnovers. This whole game could be, give New Mexico State credit for taking advantage and doing the things that they needed to do to win the game. But when it comes to us, it can just be summed up in the fact that we turned the ball over when we had a chance to really expand the lead and take advantage of some things. Can't turn the ball over.
In addition, it looked like there were a couple of situations that they had. You stopped them on 4th down, and then you had to punt like 3 or 4 plays later. And then you're up 24-10, get an interception, and punt again. How many of those opportunities? What do you do to try and
Execute. You've got to execute better. Those are wasted opportunities. Again, through the majority of the game, our defense played well. There were some situations where there at the very end they didn't, and then there was a drive where they went and caught a touchdown pass where our guy had a chance to intercept the ball. That was one of those 50-50 balls that Coach Minner's talking about that we lost on again. So we've got to find a way to win the 50-50 balls, and we've got to find a way to capitalize on momentum, because really good football teams, when your defense stops them on fourth down and it gives you the ball in their field position, in their territory going in, you got to go out and score. You got to get points off of that. That's like getting a turnover. That's a sudden change. So, you've got to be able to capitalize on that. And if you do that, then we're not in this situation at the end.
How much of that is mental at this point, though? As little success that they've been able to experience, how much of that is getting into their heads a little bit?
No, it has nothing to do with what's happened in the past. It just has to do with the going out there and executing, getting them in the right situations, and them executing what we're asking them to do.
Can you talk about the decision to? It looked like y'all weren't bringing a lot of pressure. I assume because he could run a little bit. Is that why y'all did blitz more frequently, like you were doing last week against Allen Christian?
No, we wanted to get out there and when you blitz and they spread you out, that puts you in man situations, and you got to cover the whole field. So it wasn't to our advantage to do that. We wanted to keep guys in front of us and control it. And again, we offense or defensively, I thought the first half and then segments in the second half, they did a good job of it. But when it counted, we didn't.
Coach, going into next week's practice, what do you tell the players to prepare for next week against Air Force?
Same thing we tell them every week. Be on time. Do what we ask you to do. Be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. Do the right thing, and that means in the classroom, in society, and in the meeting room, and on the field. Do what we ask you to do. If you're supposed to be in the curl, stay in the curl. If you're supposed to hang on to the ball, hang on to the ball. I mean, if you're, it's really that simple.